Good morning. It was noted to me that I don't introduce myself on the videos usually, so here we go. My name is Clinton Draper. I am the owner and a teacher at a studio called Distilled Pilates in North Vancouver. These are the COVID-19 workouts. We're going to go for an intermediate advanced-ish mat as we work through today. We'll start standing at the very front edge of your mat. My head is cut off in the video, but have faith that my eyes are lifted and out on the horizon line. With the feet parallel and hip distance apart, send your bum back as though you were sitting down into a deep imaginary chair, arms reach up high, and then stand back up to that tall place. Keep with that, having a seat down and standing to tall. As the arms reach up, keep a little bit of engagement in your low belly so that you're working the upward reach of the arms against your abdominals. So already there's a little bit of warmth creeping into the lowest part of your low belly. That lift in my body manifests as a feeling of me pulling my two hip bones together and flattening across the low abs. Just two more there. Sit as deeply as you can without bothering your knees or hips. And on this one, this last one, stay down there. Take a little pulse from your legs, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can breathe in for a few, and you breathe out for a few. During these breaths and pulses and through the rest of class, think of filling up the back of the rib cage with your breath so that you're expanding that part into the back space and not hopefully ending up in a place where we're either puffing up the low belly or translating those front ribs too far forward. Take another 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold the shape and then fold forward slowly. You're now in a standing forward bend. From this position, bend both knees, not as deeply as you did in the squat before, and then press your legs to straight. Again, a deep bend, and press to straight. For any of the purists who are out there watching, we will get to the actual Pilates exercises, I promise, just 2 more. And press, and one last one. Press to straight legs, or as close to straight as is comfortable for you, and then sweep your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers, and then take the 2 arms over your head towards the top of your mat. The front of the shoulders should feel like they get a little bit of a stretch, and maybe you end up releasing the back of the neck and further bending your spine forward. From this position, release the arms gently, bring them back down towards the mat, put a little bit of weight into those hands, and then take a big step of your left leg back. Take a moment there, lowering your pelvis downwardly towards the mat if you can. And then keeping the weight in the hands, swap your feet through a momentary push-up position. Reach the other leg, the right leg back. Right away, start to feel that stretch up through the crown of the head, down back through your back heel. And then with that little bit of weight in the hands, transfer feet so you end up in a 4-point kneel. Knees are right underneath your hips. Hands are pressed actively into the mat. Start for me by exhaling and rounding your back up into that cat stretch shape. From here, extend nice and long. We'll do that again. Exhalation to round yourself up into the shape. And extend. The tailbone's the very base of the spine, and for our purposes, we're going to consider the crown of your head to be the other end of the spine. Move those 2 end points away from each other and simultaneously. So head and tail comes together as you round up, and then head and tail reach away as you extend. From this last cat stretch shape, rounded up and strong, just extend to your neutral lines, roughly the same curves you'd have if you were standing, and then walk your 2 knees together. Drop your bum back towards your heels for a moment, laying the forehead on the mat if you can. Once you've had a single long breath cycle there, slowly roll up from the base of the spine, that tailbone, all the way up to be seated. From there, swing your legs forward, have a lay down on your back, please. Once you're down, interlace fingers, bring the hands to the back of your head. Now just notice, probably your elbows are lifted a little bit off the mat right now. That's good. I don't want them to be dropped all the way down. It might cause your ribs and chest to come forward, but feel like the elbows are given shape and purpose by drawing the upper arms in towards their sockets and connecting into your back muscles. From here, don't let those elbows point forward. Keep them on their current diagonals as you soften the chest and curl your upper body up, exhaling, and then inhale to lengthen down. Curl up again for 2, and come down. Using these moments to glance down the body, making sure everything is symmetrical. There's a little bit of point into the ankles and the feet, but I don't feel too much tension in the toes. As you curl up, start to introduce this notion of length, like you're pulling back away from your pelvis on the curl up, and then working that same pull back on the lower down. Take just 2, and the last one to come up and stay there. From this position, reach so far through your right leg that it barely lifts off the mat. Have it be a little turned out so you're using that right inner thigh to lift the leg and then lower it down. Left leg reaches long and away, barely pick it up and come down. Continue that alternating leg lift 4 more times. Go right and lengthen lower. Is left and lower. Upper body nice and high. And come down, and just one last one. And then lower the leg and lower the upper body. Putting it together, curl upper body up and lift the right leg with the inner thigh. And come down. Curl up nice and high. And come down. Now, depending on your spine, you might end up with a low back that's firmly into the mat. You might not. But at this point, as long as you feel connected to your center and your back feels good, I'm good with it. 2 more plain. Curl up right, lengthen to lower down, and last one, left, and come down. Lift right leg and upper body to stay. Upper body does a little pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'd like you to keep the upper body pulse going, but slowly lift your right leg higher. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's all the way up on 8. Slowly lower it. 8, 7. Reach it away from you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything all the way down. Take a nice big breath in. Fill the back of your body up with air. Exhale, curl up, lift left leg, and little pulses with the leg in stillness there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you've got 8 to slowly lift the leg. Take your time. 2, 3. Feel like the leg pulls into its socket as it rises up. You're there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, slow lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one is 8. Lower everything all the way down. Now for the hundreds, if you tend towards some neck tension, feel free to move your hands back to the back of the head. If not, bring the arms down by your sides. Take a moment to sort of roll the chest open, feeling broad across your collarbones. Now your first ribs are just above your collarbones. So I'd like you to think from those first ribs, you start to curl and spin your upper body up. Then the collarbones spin you up, the breastbone softens, and there you are in the upper body position of your hundreds. Now drag your legs in towards you. Slowly take those legs up nice and high. Heels are squeezed. Begin to pump your arms. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Legs lower a little. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. A little lower in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And lower in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4 is 40 in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And lowest with your legs. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. A little higher in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Legs higher. Breath. 2, 3, 4, 5. And pump. 2, 3, 4. Higher. 20 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And 90 in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. 100. You're nice and high. You curl a little higher. And then bend your knees in. Lower your head down and relax. While you're there, turn your head to the right, through the center and over to your left. Do that once more each side. Easy right, head is heavy on the mat, and left. Having found that, recenter the skull, lower your legs down, stretch them all the way out to straight. Once they're there, set them up so that they're about hip distance apart. Flex your feet, and then once you got them there, just lift your head for a second and check out where they actually are. Sometimes we're not as symmetrical as we think. Once you know that everything is even underneath you, take your arms up and then over your head, maybe rotating the arms so the palms end up facing the ceiling. From here, breathe your arms up. As the arms pass your eye line, nod your chin, soften your chest, and bend up and forward. Think of there as being an obstacle in front of your navel. No pulses today, roll right back down. As you roll down, reach those nice parallel hip distance apart feet away from you, arms reach overhead. Arms come back up. Nod your chin, curl, and bend up and forward to find your shape. And then roll down. One of the nice things about the mat work is that I think as you grow more familiar with it, there's the opportunity to turn it into what you need. So as I bend forward, maybe I want to be interested in the stretch in my hamstrings, so I'm going to really emphasize that forward fold at the hip. Or maybe you feel like you could benefit from a little more low back opening, in which case as you come up, you might want to focus more on that spine stretch, forward feeling up and over, bending your low back backwards in space, and then lower all the way down. Your next one's going to be your last one. Breathe the arms up, soften the sternum, engage your abdominals, come all the way forward. From here, roll up to vertical, placing the hands down by your sides. If you moved back a little on the mat, because most of us do, slide one bum scooch forward. Reach your right arm up high, take it forward, try to grab the instep of your left foot. If that's not happening, grab the shin or the knee or whatever else works for you. Once you're there, pick that leg up, cross it across your body, and then I'd like you to reach your left arm forward, spiral, twist away from your leg. Take just a single breath there. And then bring the left arm back. Bend your left knee. Place the foot on the outside of your right knee. So you've got that leg crossed up and over. Hug it in towards yourself. Twist towards it. Be really upright through the spine if you can. Just that single breath. And then unwinding from there, extend the leg forward. Take your left arm up high. Fold forward, grab for your right foot or leg, bring it all the way up. If you can't do it with a straight leg, you grab a bent knee, that's cool. Reach your right arm forward. As you cross the leg across your midline, spiral in the opposite direction. And then bend that knee in. Stand it down into the mat. Hug your own right knee. Twist, and you can bring the fingertips onto the mat, the right fingertips that is, and kind of crank yourself a little deeper into the shape if you wish. From there, bring it all the way back. Unwind your legs and extend them long. Slowly roll down through your spine until you're back on your mat, flat out and symmetrically placed. Like we did to prep the hundreds, reach so far through the right leg that it floats up. You're lifting it up from that right inner thigh like we talked about before. Take a moment to plug your right back half of your pelvis in towards the mat. And then today, without letting that right back half of your pelvis lift off, take your lifted right leg to the left slightly, down towards your bottom leg, out and around and up. So it's a smaller circle than we sometimes do, but it should mean no movement in the pelvis. Go 3 and come up. 4 and come up. And 5, finish with that leg nice and high, reverse. Out to the right slightly, down and around and up. Try and use the right inner thigh to take that leg across your midline. Somewhat similar to the shape you would have seen in the stretch from a moment ago. One last one, there's 5. Now you grab that right leg down at the bottom. Climb up the leg until you're holding by your calf. Bend your elbows, pull on the leg enough that your bottom leg, your left leg, floats off the mat. Once you're there, nice and high, do a double pull of your right leg. Go pull, pull, change, pull, change, pull, change. Keep that splitting energy going. Elbows are opening wide, neck is long, upper body is curled high.
4, 3, 2, and 1, or enough that you end up with a left leg in your hands. Keep hold of that left leg as you lower your right leg down, flex the right foot, and then climb down your lifted left leg. You're here for your other side of single leg circles. Cross that left leg to the right, down and around and up 1. Circle it 2. 3, heavy left bum on the mat, 4. Inhaling and exhaling on your 5. Finish with a high leg in reverse. Feel that leg plunging into the socket. That should minimize any crunching or clunking in the hip itself. 4 and 5. Finish with a high leg. Grab that left leg and climb up it as we did for our first round of scissors. Pull the leg enough that your bottom leg floats off the mat. Point through it. We move faster this time. Pull, pull, change. Pull, 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 pull. Sharp and clear enough that you really feel like you're the one moving your legs through space and you're not just letting gravity cause them to fall down. Go 4, 3, 2, 1. Whichever leg you have, bend that knee. Use it to swing yourself all the way up. Plant the soles of the feet on the mat, grab the back of your knees, and pull yourself up as tall as you can. Now thinking of the tailbone and the pelvis, roll halfway back. Inhale, come right back up to vertical. Exhale, half roll back. And come up. Just 2 more there. Even though you go backwards and downwards, I want you to feel upwardly and inwardly lifted. One last one. And come right back up. From there, take your arms forward, plug the arms into the sockets, and with the same patterning, exhale, half roll back. Inhale your arms up high. Exhale as you bend up and forward, bringing your nose to the space between your knees, and then roll up to vertical, arms straight forward. 3 more, half roll back. Arms are up. Bend through the abdominals and the spine to curl, and then roll back up on your inhale. Exhale, up and forward. Inhale to rise. Last one. Arms float. Bend it forward and roll all the way up to vertical. Just the half roll back position, staying lifted as you do. Interlace the fingers. And then I'd like you to twist your spine and our upper body to one side. And other side. And twist. And twist. To the best of my abilities, I'm relaxing my legs and hips. Now that's hard to do here, but aim to put the work up in the torso, in the abdominals, by kind of rotating the ribs up and away from the pelvis. Take just 3, 2, 1, and come back to center. Curl forward, grabbing for your own ankles for a moment to round and release the back, and then ripple right up. Arms reach forward, palms are up. I'd like you to sweep your left arm down and back as you look towards it. Come right back up to a tall version of you. Stay inwardly lifted, reach the right arm back and twist. And come up. From there, halfway back, grow up really tall. Other arm. And come up, and 1 more each side should be great. Reach. And reach. From here, come all the way back up to a tall place. Interlace the fingers at the base of your skull and pull the skull up. Now this one's going to be a little smaller. Hinge back to about 45 degrees and then bring yourself right back up to vertical. Hinge back. Often people don't come all the way back up. Come a little further upward and forward than you maybe think you need to, just to make sure everything is indeed in place. If you are feeling some work in the front of the hips, it's not the end of the world on this one. Just keep tight like you were in a plank position. And that was your last one. From there, roll down. As you do, pull your right knee in towards your chest. As you pull it in deeply, that should create a release in the front of those hips. And then you're welcome to lower that leg down, slide it away. Other leg comes in, give it a nice big squeeze. And then bring both legs in tight towards your chest. Glue them together. In fact, you can actively press them together with your arms, and then curl your upper body up. I'd like right hand to right ankle, left hand to right knee, and you reach your left leg away from you. Now maybe turn the left leg out just a tiny bit. It's not going out on an angle, it's still right underneath you, but by turning it out, we get into that upper inner thigh place. Change your legs, breathing in and out and out. Breathe in and out and out. 2 more breaths, cycles through. It's out and out. Inhale, inhale. Keep those legs and breath going, hands behind your head. Keep reaching the legs, slightly turned out. Maybe curl your upper body up higher. I'd like you to be in very real, actual danger of knocking your own nose with your knee. And then keeping this tempo, keeping the charge, start to add a rotation, twisting towards the knee that comes in towards you. Twist, 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 twist. Now, you keep going. Couple things to think about, because we're going to do a bazillion of these today. Reach the one elbow back and stretch from that underarm all the way down to your hip, so you're lengthening your side waist. And then, what happens if you don't pull your knee in as close? It might mean you have to slow it down a little, and that maybe makes it more work. If it does make it more work, keep doing that. If it didn't change it, don't worry about that. Do another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab your 2 knees, swing yourself all the way up. And I'd like you to scooch half a bound forward on your mat to pull the legs in towards your chest for rolling like a ball. So not dissimilar from a shape we just saw. Pull in really tight, and then inhale, roll back. And exhale, come up. Here's 2. And you're up. 3. And up. 2 more there. 4. And up, and the last one comes up, and 5. Hold right there. Adjust your legs so you're holding the back of your 2 bent knees. Use that grip of the back of the knees, kind of like we did in our earlier half rollbacks, to lift up a little higher out of your low back. So you're sort of pushing your legs into your hands. Keep this shape. Rock back and come up. 2 and come up. Hollow your abs out, drawing navel into spine. 2 more there. Back of head never touches the mat. Last one. Come up, stay there. Your feet have not yet rested. From here, extend your 2 legs towards straight and grab by your ankles. Now try not to have them too wide. Pick up out of your low back a little more, roll back, and come up and catch. Try not to touch your head as I just did. Roll back, and come up. Roll back, and come up. It's always a little bit of an exploration. Coming far enough forward that you do come up to a balanced place, but then you fall right back. One last one. Come up, stay there. Now the next one's tricky. Bring your legs together. Flex your feet. Can you reach for your toes? If you can get them, great. If not, and you're holding onto your calves, that's fine too. With legs glued together and the grip on whatever you're holding, roll back and come up and catch. And roll back and come up. Keep reaching for or holding onto your toes if you can. And up. And you've got 2 more, teaser-esque. And up. And one last one. And come all the way up. Hold there in your balance. Whoop, I just about didn't make it. Point through your feet. Take your hands down. And then I'd like you to rotate and turn those legs out. There's those inner thighs again. Beat your legs. Crisscross, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Now see if you can bring your chest a little higher. Keep reaching long through your legs. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold with legs glued together. Bend your knees in as you lower down onto your back. Open your arms out to the side and press them down into the mat. Once they're there, pressed into the mat, let your 2 bent knees tip to the right. Push down into that left arm and shoulder. Bring the legs back through center. Both knees over to your left. And bring them back to center. 1 more each side like that. Go right. And left. Bring it back to center. Grab the back of your 2 bent knees. Swing yourself all the way up. Excellent. So the rollings, of which we just did rolling like a ball and then a couple of variations leading us to open leg rocker, are in part a preparation for inversions, for going upside down. So we are going to go into a rollover. We're going to start with a few from seated though.
Please only do this if it feels appropriate for your body today. Hands are down by your mat. Point to the feet and grow as tall as you can. From there, start to roll back in that controlled lifted half roll back thing that we just practiced. Let your legs lift up. Take them over your head. And if you used a little momentum, no problem. Stop with those legs parallel to the floor. And then start to reach through your fingertips. Press down into the palms and slowly roll down. Lift your head off the mat and come right back up to seated. 2 more like that. Half roll back. Let the rolling back through every single part of your spine. Roll your legs over your body and then slowly lower. Lift the head up, contract your abs, use your hands to help you, come right up tall. Last one. Half roll back. Feel those legs pulling into your body. You'll need that for later. And then slowly lower. Reach through the arms and fingers, press in and grow tall. Nice. So you could keep doing that, or we'll add a little bit of a leg circling element to this one. Start tall, we won't be coming up to seated again though, and then do your half roll back, take your legs over, and hold. Now option number 1, they stay parallel to the floor. Option number 2, flex your feet, lower your toes to the floor, rock your heels back and forth. Separate your legs by mat distance, rock your heels back and forth. And then I'd like you to point through those feet as you reach all the way down. This time not coming up to seated, but lowering those legs down to about 45 degrees or lower if you can. Bring your legs up to 90 degrees, scoop in the low belly, take the legs over. Flex your feet, your toes are on the mat, rock your heels back and forth. Separate legs mat distance, rock back and forth. Point your feet, slowly lower. And all the way down. I'd like 1 more of those. Bring your legs up and over, scoop in the low belly. Flex, rock back and forth, separate, rock back and forth, start to roll all the way down. Draw the legs together at the bottom of your shape and then we'll come up and over once again. This time don't touch your feet towards the mat. Instead, squeeze in through the bums and the hamstrings, lift your legs up fairly high. Slowly lower them back down as though you were going to touch the floor above your head, but you don't. Do that again. Press your legs up, nothing else changes. And then slowly lower. And one last one, jackknifing up. Nice slow jackknife today. And then slowly lower. Excellent. We'll leave that there for the moment. Start to roll down through your spine. And then using the transition we did before, lift your head off. Use your hands to help you come all the way back up to seated. C'est bon. Let's separate your legs by mat distance. Flex your feet a lot. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. Let the upward reach narrow your waistline. Draw your sits bones together and then flex forward into a C curve. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale. And come all the way back up. And let's do that 1 more time. Exhaling into the shape and then coming all the way back up. Open the arms out to the side. Open your legs just a little bit wider than your mat. From here, coming into the saw, rotate towards your left. Reach right baby finger towards left baby toe. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Come up through the spine, spiral other way. Left fingers to right baby toes. 1, 2, 3. Come all the way up. Now, whichever arm you're reaching with, our right arm in this instance, keep it plugged into the socket. Try not to reach with such enthusiasm that you bring that head of the humerus out of the socket. 1, 2, 3. Stack up tall, 1 more each side, and reach. 1, 2, 3. Stack all the way up to tall, spiral through. Last 1, 2, 3. Come up to the tall place. Come back to center, and let's bring the legs and arms all the way in towards you so you're in a nice tight shape. Find your rolling like a ball position again. Once you are in that rolling like a ball position, I'd like you to lift your chest and eye line. Try and keep a hold of your feet or your ankles, wherever you might be gripping, and extend just 1 leg out. And then bring it back in. Keep your balance, just the left leg out. And bring it back in. And reach right. And reach left. Come all the way back with control, lower all the way down onto your back and hug those knees in. That moment of balance we'll revisit a little bit later. Take a breath,
Curl your upper body up nice and high. Like the rolling like a ball shape, you've got your ankles right now, and I want you to pull into the smallest, tightest shape you can make. Once you're there, inhale your legs away and your arms overhead. Big stretch. And circle and squeeze. Do that again. Stretch. And circle and squeeze. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Really active and reaching legs. And come in. And one last one. And come in. Take the legs up to the ceiling. Keep them there. Bring your hands to behind your head. And then lower those legs down just about 3 inches. Bring them back up. Take them down about 6 inches. And bring them back up. Take them down a little further than you were, whatever that means to you, and come all the way back up. You've got 2 more, a little lower if you can, and come right back up. Last one all the way down, nice and low, and then bring them back up and stay. Turn your feet and legs to parallel, micro bend your knees. Reach the right arm to your outer left ankle. Little pulsing twist up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more is 9. Hold up there. 10. And then recenter the body. Reach your left arm to the outer right ankle. Pulse up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Lower your feet down, and then relax your hands down by your hips. From this position, I'd like you to walk your feet and legs so that they are about hip distance apart, and then a little further away from your bum than usual. Once you've got them there, anchored and symmetrical, as we did before, just peek up. Do the legs actually look even, or do you have one knee falling out the side? Check as much as you can for your symmetry, and then we'll take the hands to the mat, curl your tail between your legs, and roll your bum off the mat. From there, soften all the way back down. There's a lot of conversation usually around the placement of the low back, reaching the tailbone, stuff like that. All valid. Notice the curve at the back of your neck. As you roll up and down, I'd like that curve to remain fairly constant. So if you notice, for instance, that your chin is wanting to lift or lower as you roll your spine up and down, make a little counter movement just to try and keep the eye line up to the ceiling and the curve at the back of the neck nice and easy feeling. Next time you've rolled your hips up, stay there. I'd like you to activate the arms a little more into the mat to help you stabilize. Lift the right leg to tabletop. Extend the right leg to the ceiling. Now it's going to be tempting to step or hop your left foot in. Don't do it. Keep it away from you. Lower your bum down. Lift your bum up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold up at the top. 1. Flex your lifted right foot and lower that leg straight down. Point lift. Flex lower. Point lift. And down. And up. 2 more. And lift. Last one. Finish with a high leg. Hold. Bend the right knee in. Place that right foot down, but not too close towards you. Extend your left leg up to the ceiling. Once it's there, lower and lift your bum down. Up. 10, 9, 8, 7. Right inner thigh and right glute working hard here for 4, 3, 2. Hold up at the top. 1. Keep your arms active. Flex your left foot. Lower it down. Point lift. Flex lower. Point lift. Just 3 and 2 is 1. Fold the leg all the way in. Place it all the way down next to its neighbor, and then soften down through your spine to once again release. Draw those 2 knees in towards your chest. Swing yourself up to vertical. For this next one, make sure you've got some space behind you, enough space that your head will be able to come down onto the mat. We're going to go into an inverted version of the scissors exercise, which we've already seen, and then a slow bicycle. These upside down ones are a little bit trickier. When you are back there, make sure that the weight is distributed across your shoulder girdle and that you're not in a place where it feels like you can't breathe, or that the front of the throat is constricted, or that there's any pressure on your neck. Start as tall as you can, slightly pointed feet. We've seen this transition already. And then you roll down your back. Now as you do, take your legs up and over, just like we did before. Once the legs are roughly parallel to the floor, stay there. Bend your elbows, bring your hands towards the small of your back. Once they're there, I'd like you to slowly jackknife the legs a little higher up to the ceiling. Once they're a little higher, how high is all up to you, drop your buttocks into your hands a little bit. So it's almost like you're sticking your bum out, and you are definitely supporting the weight of the pelvis with your arms. You'll feel pressure in towards your elbows. Starting with scissors, one leg towards you, one leg away. Go pulse, pulse, change. Pulse, pulse, change. This one is always about the away leg, not the one that's coming towards your face. That one's easy. Stretch the other leg away so that the split of the legs is evenly distributed. Take just 2 more. And 1. Finish with both legs back up to the ceiling. Recenter if you need. And then I'd like you to bend one knee in towards your chest. And we're going to go into a slow motion bicycle. Now this again should be about an emphasis on the away leg. Let the weight drop down in towards your pelvic girdle. Now if possible, and if you have open hip flexors, it's conceivable you will be able to stretch that one foot all the way down towards the mat and lightly graze it with your big toe. If you're a little tighter in the hip flexors, it's just a dream to work towards. Take 1 more. We're only doing the one direction today. Finish with your legs up towards the ceiling. Remove your hands, roll down, and roll all the way back up to seated. Once you are up and seated, dive over one shoulder so you end up on your stomach facing the opposite direction. Starting with your legs glued gently together, bring the hands so that the palms are right underneath your shoulders. Wrap those elbows in a little bit. We're going to do 3 with this adducted leg position. Inhale to reach through the crown of the head and do a gentle swan dive prep. We have not done a lot of back bending, so just listen to your back on this and then lengthen to lower. 2 more. I'm noticing a definite desire for my legs to separate. Try and keep them together for just 1 more. That might require even more lift of your low belly so that you don't end up feeling this as being compressive in your low back. And then lower down. From here, separate your legs by about mat distance and allow them to externally rotate so the heels fall inward. Do 3 more here. This changes the relationship of the pelvis to the sacrum, spine. Sometimes it feels better for people. Take 2 more here. Not being terrifically hard line. I'm good with people using either of these leg positions as long as it is a clear choice and not just an arbitrary one. Having taken that last one, lower yourself down. Turn to place the left cheek of your face on the mat. Glue your legs together. Bring your hands behind you and interlace the fingers. Those hands, the back of the hands, are going to come onto your mid-back. Press your elbows gently down, but then try and roll the front of the shoulders open, which is kind of weird. From there, reach long through the legs so your kneecaps lift off the mat. Once the kneecaps are barely lifted, slowly today, bend your knees. You're trying to keep those kneecaps hovering. And kick your bum. 3, 2, 1. Stretch your arms and your legs simultaneously backwards. My kneecaps are still off the mat. I've rolled my shoulders open. I'm sending my chest forward. And then lift your arms higher. That will feel like an incredible stretch, at least it does on me. Lower all the way down. The right cheek of your face is on the mat. Bring the hands to the mid-back and kick your bum. 1. Knees are lifted. 2 and 3. Stretch arms and legs away and together. Roll your shoulders open. Lift your belly. Lift the arms higher. That's a little unyielding. And lower all the way down. As you kick, elbows down, shoulders open, knees together. Take your 3rd little pulse. Reach through. Roll shoulders open. Lift arms up and lower all the way down. Your next one is your last 1, 2, 3. Stretch long, lift arms, and then you can lower all the way back to your starting position. From there, extend your legs if they weren't already. Place your hands on the mat, press your bum back over your heels. Nice big exhale to release. And then shift forward, and I'd like you to walk or crawl your hands up towards the front corners of your mat. Splay the fingertips wide, put a micro bend in your elbows, and then one leg at a time, stretch your legs all the way up to straight. You're now in a push-up position. If that doesn't suit you, you can always lower your knees down. Hold in that shape. Draw the front of the body up towards the back of the body. So your low belly lifts up, your navel lifts up, your front ribs lift up, the throat, maybe even the brain is drifting to the back of your skull. Now I'd like you to rock your heels back and forth and back and forth. Explore a stretch in your toes and in the ankles. 2 more there. 2 and 1. Come forward, hold. If you wish, barely lift your right leg. With the right leg lifted, rock your left heel back and forth. Just 3, 2, and 1. Come forward, lower the right foot down if it was lifted. Extend your other leg away and rock the right heel. 2, 3. Come back, lower that foot down, lower your 2 knees down, send your bum back towards your heels. Very quick moment there. Shifting forward and then turning around so that you end up seated on your bum. Bring the hands to behind you. Set them up so that the hands are just a little bit back of the shoulders and that the fingers face towards your feet. Reach long through the feet. Your goal could be to bring the tips of your toes to touch the mat as you reach long through your legs and lift your hips up into the air. Once they're lifted, maybe the toes are touching, you are one long line, lower down and sort of reach your tailbone back towards the mat. Come up for 2. And come down. And press up 3. And come down. Turn the hands out a little bit and widen them. Do the same exercise. Lift up and come down. The difficulty with this exercise is often the wrists start to complain a little bit. Drive down into heels, lift your abs up, and come down. Last option, point your fingertips backwards. If your wrists have already had it, don't do this one. And lift yourself all the way up 1. And come down. Try and keep a little micro bend in the elbows. 2. And come down. And 1, last one. 3. And come down. Fold forward, grab for your own ankles, just take a bend. And then you roll all the way up through your spine. I'd like you to adjust onto your left-hand side with your spine lined up with the back edge of your mat. I'm going to come up onto my elbow today. Any other option for your upper body is good with me. Bring your 2 feet forward, rotate and turn those legs out. Stick your bum out a little bit. Pull the front body in a little bit like we did in the push-up preps, and then pick your top leg up. Dynamically kick that right leg forward. Pulse, pulse, stretch, back, front, front, reach, back. And back. 2 more. And back. Last 1. And back. Keeping it back, turn it out a little more, and then I'd like you to bring the leg forward, up, and around. Medium-sized circle. 2. And around. 3, reaching it long. 4 and 5. Meet your bottom leg, reverse that back, up and forward. 2, 3, 4 and 5. From here, a little dancerly. Bend the knee in, extend the leg up, flex the foot, lower it down. In, up, reach, 3, up, reach. File these patterns away. We're going to do an advanced kneeling variation later of this side leg work. Come down. From here, reverse, flex up, bend in, find that inner thigh and slide the leg away and down. 2, flex up, point in and reach. 1 last one here. And reach. Finish with those legs glued together, and then bend the knees in so that your feet are in line with the back edge of the mat. Pick your top leg up a little bit, and then I'd like you to inwardly rotate, knee to knee, outwardly rotate, toe to toe. You're in and out and in and out. Just 3. Sort of a figurating of that right thigh bone. Finish a final one with the toes touching and the right thigh turned out. Now without moving that right thigh, extend the lower portion of the leg, bend it back. 2 and back. 3, 4, last one, 5. Memorize that shape. You're going to bring the leg forward and to parallel, to about 90 degrees at the hip. Come right back to the shape you were in. forward and back, just 3, and back is 2, and back, and one last one, and back. Bend the leg in, lower it all the way down, press yourself up. I'd like you to split the legs so that you're in sort of a double pigeon. Grab your right shin with your right hand, reach long through that left arm, and go over. Just one long, slow side bend. Come all the way back up. We'll pass through the side bend, reach through the left arm again. This time twist around. See if you can bring both hands towards your right shin. And just rotate the upper body as far as you can. Bring that all the way back. Keeping the legs as they are. Rotate to square your upper body towards your right thigh. And then you lean back a little. Maybe to hands. Maybe to your forearms. Bendy friends, maybe you come all the way down to be flat. The goal here is that you feel a stretch in your right thigh. If, having found one of those positions, whatever it might be for you, you're not feeling a stretch in that thigh, send the right hip bone slightly forward, and that should get you. I want to feel it right down into the quadricep group. Having found a breath or two there, press or walk yourself all the way up. Swing your legs around, and we take those leg exercises on the other side. Set up, spine in line with the back edge of the mat, 2 feet to the front edge. Reach through the bottom leg, in this case the right leg, make it active, and then pick your top leg up. Once you're there, send that left leg forward, pulse, pulse, stretch, back, 2, and back, 3, and back. Here's 4, and back, and 5. Take it back, rotate, turn it out a little more, circles, forward, up, and around. 2. That same inner thigh, which has become a quiet background theme of today, is what's moving that leg forward and around. Meet your bottom leg in reverse. Back, inner thigh. 2, 3, reaching long on 4, and 5. Finish with those legs glued together, the dancerly version. You bend, extend, and then flex down and reach away. In, like that top leg was longer than your bottom leg. And reach, last 2. And final 1. We'll take that in reverse, flex to lift up, point to bend in, slide down, up, in, and reach. One last one. Finish with that leg reaching nice and long. Once you've established that length, bend the 2 knees, bring those feet in. Lift your top leg up slightly. From here, inwardly rotate knee to knee. Outwardly rotate toe to toe. Figure 8, 2. And 3. And just 2 more of those, nice and muscular. 4. 5, finishing the toe-to-toe position, stay there. Reach long through the lower half of that leg. 5, bring it back. That left thigh bone staying still, left hip stacked on top of your right. Last 2. And final 1, hold. Now you memorize that shape. Bring the leg forward and parallel, back to the original shape. 2, and 3. Leg usually feels pretty heavy at this stage. 4, and 5. Bring it back up. Bend it all the way in. Lower that leg all the way down. Coming up to that 4th position or that double pigeon should be your right leg forward now. Reach long through the right arm. Take yourself over one long juicy side bend. And then come all the way back up. Reaching through that same right arm, side bend, but then twist. Grab for your left shin and peek as far behind you as you can. From there, you center back off. There's a little twist of the upper body to square it towards your left thigh, and then come back onto your forearms or all the way flat out onto your back. Take a breath or 2 there, establishing that shape. And then maybe reach through your left hip a little bit. It's hard to see in the video, but I'm pressing my left hip bone forward. And then we'll come all the way up from there. From this shape, I'd like you to come up onto your knees. If you have sensitive knees, you could do a double wrap of your mat to give yourself a little bit of extra pillowing. Obviously, rolled up towel, anything else like that would work as well. Set yourself up and flex your feet behind you. Now, we just did some stretches for the quads. I'd like you to bring your hips forward a little and really pull the pubic bone up so that I'm long through the front and I haven't kind of let my bum stick out the back. Having established that, arms reach out wide. Stretch your right leg out to the side, plant it, got my baby toe side of the foot anchored, and then bring the hands to behind your head. Side bend towards that right knee and bring it back. And then you go a little further, side bend away from that right knee. And come back, just once more each side. Over, and up, and over, and up. Reach long through those arms. With a controlled fall, start to move over to bring your left hand onto the mat, bring your right leg up into the air, and then bring the right hand to the back of the head. Now, the higher you lift that right leg, the more work you're going to extract from this. I'd like you to tap the mat with your right toes. 5, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay nice and high, flex the foot, kick it forward. Pulse, pulse, stretch to the back. Front, front, stretch to the back. 3, and back. 2 more, straight leg, and back. Last one, front, front, back. Bring that leg directly so it's reaching long. Lift it a little higher, let it pick you up underneath your bottom left waistline. 5 little circles, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super tight in the front, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend your right arm up to the ceiling. Use the upward reach through it to float all the way back up and place the knee down. Left leg extends. Anchor, make sure your hips are forward, abs are tight, hands come to behind your head, side bend left knee. And come up. Go over right. And up. Side bend. And up, and one last one. And up. Reach long through the arms. You will lighten the impact of the fall if you stay internally lifted. So you float over and the abs are tight and they help you fall down with some control. Bend that left elbow, bring the hand to behind your head, flex your left foot, kick it forward. I lied, we didn't do that first. We tapped the toes to the mat. 5, lift. 4, I'm fired. 3, 2, and 1. Lift and stay, hold there. From here, flex your foot. Now you go forward, pulse, pulse, take it back. Front, front, pull the abs in. Really low engagement. Last 2. And back. Final 1. Back from here. Bring that leg so it's reaching long. Stretch through it more. 5 little circles. 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold with a reaching leg. Send the left arm up. Reach so far up through that left arm that it helps you float up with control to lower everything down. Whew. Good. Nice work. Turn yourself sideways. If you're still okay on your knees, we're going to do one more brief one. If you don't want to do this one, sit it out, go to a quad stretch of your choice. Arms come forward. Once you're there, tighten up, and it's that same moment of opening up the front of the hips and lengthening your low back. Hinge backwards and come up. Now we did a little bit of a hinge earlier from the half roll back position, so feel your abs engage. There's that secret hint of hundreds. I like to glance down the bridge of my nose, keeps my head in an alignment that helps to stay out of my low back. And on your next one, go back and stay. From wherever you are, I'm hoping you feel a stretch in your thighs. As long as you've got that, you're in a good place. Take your arms up and bring them down by your hips. 2, you're holding that lean if you can. Just 3 more arm lifts. And down. 2, and down. And one last one, float the arms up. Lower them down, come all the way back to vertical. Excellent. From this position, I'd like you to swing your legs around so that they are extended forward and glued gently together. Like we did earlier in class, have a lay all the way down on your back. Breathe your arms up overhead, and for a moment, just stretch in 2 directions. From here, arms come up in preparation for teasers. You nod your chin, pull the legs in towards you, use your inner thighs to pick your legs up. Be there for a moment, and then lower all the way down. Think of how this is the half roll backs. Think of how it's essentially the same shapes we were exploring in a number of your rollings, and come all the way down. Just 3 more. I'm a rib popper. So as you lower down, don't be like me, be better than me. Don't allow those front ribs to flare up. Usually indicates a little bit of a give in the mid-back. Try and support and control yourself out of those shapes. One last one. Come up, stay there. Once you're there, keep the arms reaching, keep the chest lifted, lower your legs, pull them up. 2, up, 3, and 4 is 5. Finish nice and high, and then lower all the way down onto your back and stretch your arms. For a moment, just stretching each direction, maybe flexing your feet, reaching up through those heels. And then you can roll onto your left-hand side. Now, if you're a little bit off your mat, readjust so you're back on. Knees are quite generously bent to start with. Both arms reach forward. Top arm comes up, do a big spiraling twist. And then scooping in the low abdominals, bring that all the way back. We'll go for 2 more. Breathing it back in. One last one. And back. To deepen that a little bit, stretch your top right leg forward, place it on the floor. Stretch your bottom left leg out. Do one more big twist. Now option just to hold there, or if you can, left hand grabs right leg. Hold on to it, and then rotate a little further. From this position, release your shape, allow everything to come back to the center, and just press yourself up to flip over, or just flip over depending on where you are in relationship to your screen. Both arms are forward, 3 plane here, floating the left arm up, and spiral. Pull the abdominals in. See if you can feel like the tissue in the front of the chest is stretching. So more than pec and shoulder and back, even though those are all great things to focus on, we maybe create a little bit of release in through those tight spots where we tend to hold on to stuff. And come back. Left leg extends all the way forward. Stretch your right leg out, and then you spiral. Think here of reaching out through all of your directions. Your 2 arms, your 2 legs, crown of the head, and the base of the spine. So everything is radiating out from your center. Take a long breath in this shape. And then recover everything all the way back. As a final stretch, I'd like you to make your way back up to seated. Extend the legs in front of you, but not straight. They're going to be fairly generously bent. And then reach forward. Aim to wrap your hands over the soles of your feet. This is not about a forward fold, although there is that in it. I'd like you to lift your upper chest up to get as long as you can. Now, you'll slide your legs forward, and either your legs will go forward or your bum will go back, or both. Doesn't matter about straightening the legs, but keep the chest up, and I'm hoping you feel a stretch in your calves. If you don't, straighter legs, maybe let your heels come off, and really do trust the pullback of the toes. If you send your chest forward, pull your toes up towards them, you should get just a crazy stretch in your calves. Be there for a moment. And then relax that completely. Bend the knees in, stand onto them into a deep squat if you can. If you don't want to do that transition, just make your way up to a forward fold. From here, put a tiny little micro bend in the knees, leading with your tailbone. Slowly roll up on a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6. Low abdominals gently drawing up. By the time you arrive up, you're going to be perfect. Upright, long, tall, and decompressed. Once you do arrive at the top, take one big breath in, sweeping your arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, take those arms all the way down to your sides, and you're all done. Excellent work. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I will try and post some more videos to get us through the pandemic. Have a good one.